Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And something strange is going on. It feels like a TikTok challenge or something, but we've got all of these randos on X going around and trying to call out the elder statesmen of nerddom as being tourists, and a lot of the people they're calling out are actually helping contribute to the development of the IP. We've got a couple examples from Tabletop. We've got one person who is closely associated with the development of original Dungeons & Dragons being called a tourist who's never played D&D. We have...
The tourist, calling a tourist just means, oh, shut up. And this is basically a bunch of, this would be called, a bunch of tourists are calling people who develop what they love tourists.
Yeah,
so they're tourists, they're new, they don't even bother to use Google to check, and they're calling everybody else tourists because that's their new, you're a Nazi, I'm going to dismiss you by calling you that. But it doesn't change the fact that you're wrong and you look fucking stupid.
So we have a couple examples in Tabletop and they look fucking stupid, and then we have Chuck Dixon being told that he's never picked up a Batman book before when
that's funny.
He's probably written more Batman than anybody I can... Yeah, right. I mean, it's insane how much Batman he's written on top of other things. So we're going to talk about this because it feels like the programming has changed. Like you said, it's the new Nazi. Like every couple of months, there's an update to the program, and it goes from like everybody's a Nazi. Okay, the new talking point is everybody's a fascist. Now the new talking point is everybody who doesn't agree with the modern version of said thing is a tourist, even if they helped create said thing. And then they try to justify it by being like, well, they helped create it back in the day, but it's moved beyond them, so they're still a tourist.
Because they're boomers and they're Nazis.
Walt Disney's a boomer. You know, if Walt Disney were still alive, they would call him a tourist. If he tried to comment on cartoons or whatever, they'd be like, you tourist, you Nazi.
Get a Ouija board. We can ask him.
You don't have to get a Ouija board. His head's underneath.
No, his head is not. And I'm joking about the Ouija board before everybody jumps on here with comments about it. I know not to mess with Ouija boards. I don't go near them. It's a joke.
Oh, it's so weird. We were watching another side tangent here. We're watching a block of Halloween commercials from the 80s and 90s, and they were advertising Ouija boards as a toy. I forgot about that. But
they were a toy,
kids,
and it's just like, I don't ever... Anyway, that's unrelated.
Anyway, it's unrelated. There we go. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
We're just a couple of tourists over here at Clownfish TV. We don't know what the hell we're talking about. We've never worked with Disney. We've never done comic books.
No, we've never been around any of this. So
we don't know anything. We're just...
They'll tell you that too. They're like, they don't know anything. And they claim they... I'm like, dude, we write most of the time. For heaven's sakes.
Well, yeah, tourist, I think, has replaced grifter. So we've gone through Nazi, I think fascist, Nazi, fascist, grifter, and now it's tourist. And this is like one of the wildest examples in recent memory was when we had your favorite writer from Mary Sue, was it Rachel Leichman trying to lecture Gary from Nerdrotics on Doctor Who, and like, you've probably never watched Doctor Who in your life. He's got a whole fucking room full of Doctor Who memorabilia and Blu-rays, and yeah, like, come on. But this is even more egregious. This is people going after the people who actually helped develop the games that they're standing for, and they're like, you don't even know what you're talking about. So this one here, as the first example, this is Sandy Peterson, who, again, if you just go to Wikipedia, it only takes a couple of seconds. You can see Sandy Peterson created Call of Cthulhu, worked on the development of RuneQuest, worked on Doom and Quake, and so many other things. He's worked on so many things over the years.
Literally just takes seconds. Reading is fundamental.
There's his games. There it is, right there. Ghostbusters role-playing game, West End Games, ElfQuest role-playing game, RuneQuest. Very well-regarded game developer, but according to Wargaming Dad, has this guy ever actually played a TTRPG? Because he smells like a tourist. Because Sandy Peterson said, owlbears are fierce, savage predators, vicious, ravenous beasts that combine a bear's power with an owl's perception and a nasty disposition. That's coming out of the Monster Manual. And then now it's dancing at the Pride Parade.
I know. I thought that was funny too. I did notice that. And I was like that in the Beholder. I was like, what the fudge? And I'm not even a person who plays, but I knew that much. And it's funny because they're like, I love this. They're basically the go-to is, I don't like what you have to say. So instead of actually looking into it, I'm just going to call you a tourist. And then that just shows what a dumbass tourist you are. Who's the tourist here, honey? Who's the tourist?
Oh my God. So that's coming directly from the book, I believe. And here we've got this one they're trying to make excuses. Sandy's just an idiot then. There aren't any ironclad rules in D&D. It's all suggestion. I'm like, no, your version of D&D is all theater kid suggestion.
These are all like 20-something-year-old morons. No offense to 20-somethings, but these were all like the younger, I know everything generation. And they're like, because I decided that's the truth. That's the truth. That's my truth. My truth is your tourist. Going by old school rules, that's what the owlbear was. The owlbear was a tough nut, right? So they're going after him. Let's see here. Here we go. This is another one that's going around trying to stir shit up. Brad Torgerson, who's they all have like these animation avatars.
Yes. I don't know if they're real people or if they're just like
but why
refugees
would they?
from Blue Sky. I have no idea.
Well, I don't know. Blue Sky's already losing their crap because Trump's over there now.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that.
It's absolutely hilarious.
Here again. Post was written by this is Robert Kuntz. Okay, so Post was written by somebody who's never played D&D. Cool. D&D is literally meant to be adjusted to your liking. It's 1,000% meant for fantasies. Read a fucking book and a D&D book. Okay, so this is Rob Kuntz, who we've actually had Rob on the show, and Rob was there. Rob was there at the very beginning of Dungeons and Dragons. Rob knows full well what the fuck Dungeons and Dragons is about. He was very close friends with the Gygaxes. And he was there, and he worked on it for years.
They're probably like, "What's a Gygax?"
What's a guy? No, they've been trying. They don't even know how to pronounce his name. You've got. I shit you not. I about fell out of my chair. Gen Con, it was probably 4 or 5 years ago. They had a bunch of these kinds of people that were doing a live stream. They were like
half-shaved head, blue hair.
Half-shaved, the whole thing, right? Everything you would expect at Gen Con. Bunch of 20-somethings, and they're talking. They're the commissars of Gen Con, and they're doing a live stream, and they couldn't even pronounce Gygax. I'm like, you dumb bitches. Gary Gygax started this convention. Like, you don't even know, because you've tried
you to assume that they're that educated.
I mean, it's just so stupid. And everybody's like, D&D is whatever you want. It's just make-believe. I'm like, then why buy the fucking books? Why buy rule books?
Okay,
why buy anything? Just do what you want.
Well, that's true. But if it's whatever you want, then why do you care if some people play it the way they're playing it that you're mad about? Like, if it's whatever you want, then why can't they play it the old way? Like, why does it matter? If it's whatever they want, you can't wait for the concentration camp campaign.
I wonder if these are like even real people, because I'm looking at I'm like, you're just beyond parody. We've got the furry avatar, the flags in the bio, obviously LGBTQ, whatever, and it just all
these things does not mean we're like anybody. It's just that these are the common denominators you see in these idiotic posts, and
there's a type, and it all intersects, and I've talked about it before. Again, I'm not trying to pigeonhole people.
Yeah, we're not trying to paint the broad brush.
But there definitely are some commonality, and there are some people that I think there are some possible mental issues, whatever, and it all just kind of converges. And people do stereotype because they look at like, oh, you got an anime furry avatar, you got like 15 flags in your bio, and you're talking about your sexuality.
I'm sorry,
there's a shit about.
Is there sometimes stereotypes are there for
stereotypes have for a reason?
Anyway,
right?
Go ahead. What did they say?
Anyway. Joko Bod here says that's because Rob is a tourist. It doesn't matter if he co-created the games. He knows nothing about the games that is from 3.5e and beyond, and he doesn't know the player base. He's nothing but an old fart who couldn't move on from the old ways, and look into the future.
Wow.
Fuck these people. Seriously, the disrespect. I mean, this is the same attitude, though, that they have at Wizards of the Coast, where they threw shade at the creators of Dungeons & Dragons because, they're just a bunch of old farts from the Midwest, and they should just be ignored.
So let me get this straight. Okay, if I'm summing this up. So you had people who developed this game, had been around for years, had a huge fan base. And then you have this new people come in, they're like, I want to play too. And they're like, okay, you can play too. And they let them come in, they invite them in, and say, oh yeah, play. Come on, let's go, more merrier. I'm glad to have you here. They get in there, and then after they get in there, they push everybody else out of their seats, bring their friends in, barricade the doors, and tell everybody else they're an old fart who doesn't know anything about the game because it's their game now, bitches. And, that's like everything else. And they wonder why people hate them. You hate me because you're bigots. No, we hate you because you're an asshole. You don't even know what the hell you're talking about. You're disrespectful, but you demand respect. You keep labeling people as different things, but you demand people respect your labels. It's like, why do people not like you? Why do people hate you? They hate you not because they don't like you. They hate you because you treat them with disdain and you act like an arrogant fuck, and that's why they hate you.
So
you give respect. Bitches.
Exactly, right? It's a very low IQ take for a very high IQ answer that Rob gave, because Rob is a very articulate guy. We had him on.
Sorry for saying all the F words then, Rob.
That's okay.
I know I'm not very articulate, but I'm just very passionate.
He's a very articulate guy. He's very, very sharp. And so he gives this very lengthy answer, which is, and I think the reason he's doing this is it's definitely above their reading comprehension, so they have to think to digest it. But original D&D was above the reading comprehension of a lot of these people. It really, I mean, it was accessible, but it
was above my comprehension. You try to explain the rules to me, and I'm just like my eyes just glaze over, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's okay. Just show up and don't die. That's, Robert Kuntz said, D&D has always been about participating in building and experiencing fantasy, and not fantasies or fantasizing. Mm-hmm. It's about the fear and wonder of the unknown, and not socio-political, postmodern, nihilistic claptrap. It's about adventure and parties in arms who excel in such quests and not papier-mâché parties. Legends are born with the former, while the latter produces, at best, gruel for the simple-minded who have no anchorage to the myths, legends, and stories that birth the genre and the subgenres. The latter's postmodern gobbledygook deconstructs the pillars of fantasy and mocks untold years dedicated to its classical beginnings and the creativity, wit, and imagination of its authors. It insults thousands of years of culture, literature, and folk tales while standing on their ashes like some uninformed, midget-minded arsonist. It is an affront to truth in all cases, culturally and historically, and unlike the targeted aims to impugn, mock, and destroy, it will be consigned to the dustbin of history. Basically, modern fantasy, modern Dungeons and Dragons, the bastardized version of it is garbage that's not going to withstand the test of time. Hell, Hasbro doesn't even care enough about it.
No, it's just about money. So translation, it's like it was based on actual folk tales, actual, things that existed in years and stories and stuff is what existed. You have taken those things and then just like completely changed them, change everything about it to make it your own personal fantasy world where everything, validates you, and then tell everybody else that they're not allowed to be there. As you scream and complain that people are keeping you out, you're doing the exact same thing. And it's going to end up burning up in flames and being thrown out and forgotten because it's so, shallow and unnecessary. Translation for idiots.
Yeah, pretty much. Back to Sandy Peterson. He's like, he thought that Wargaming Dad was joking when he called him a tourist. He said, no, he's not. And actually this person's like, yeah, he responded to your post where he put up his credentials, like all these games that he's worked on. He's like, so your past means you aren't misrepresenting D&D and the gay art. Basically the gay art which I did a video on. What gay art?
Oh, the gay art picture? It's stupid.
Where they're having
that art piece is misrepresenting D&D.
Yeah, I think check the other video I did on this, but it was
it's really bad, guys.
It's clearly bad. Yeah,
I thought it was a joke. I thought it was an AI joke. I honestly did.
So they do that, and then they turn around and they're like, "Oh, look, guys, old school D&D." I'm like, "Fuck off, you guys!" The player base that you've cultivated would go after Eddie for being problematic, right?
Mm-hmm. Like, the old school D&D, you guys you would have been allowed to play. They would have said, hey, come on in, because you were the old school D&D around the time, and you guys were like, yeah, everybody's welcome, and people would be allowed to be there. But they actually were, open to everyone, and there's a difference. You guys are gatekeeping the shit out of it, trying to like you do everything else. You find something that has a fan base. You find something that's been around for years. You try to take it over, change everything about it to make it, quite frankly, the alphabet, what version of whatever it is. See also She-Ra. And you do that, and then when it doesn't do well, your answer, people call it out because they're the old fans that kept it around for years. Then you tell them all they're boomers, they're old, they're bigots, whatever. Insert whatever typical, boring, yawn-worthy, stereotypical insult because you're too stupid to think of something better, and insert it there, and then say that, that yay, we won.
We're going to win in the end.
Yeah, and then you know what? In a couple of years, it's going to go back to what it was, and everybody's going to forget about it. Thing is, you were always allowed to do this stuff, make your own things. But the difference is you can't tell everybody else they have to, too.
Yeah, I don't know where this mindset came from. You've always been free to play D&D however you want to. But what the thing is they want validation, so they want the official rules to
everything has to validate and reflect them. Yes.
Right. I want to see myself in D&D and my gay little dragons, too. I'm like, well...
But the thing is, then it becomes exclusionary that, for the ones that are screaming the most about how they're excluded, they deliberately go out of their way to come in, infiltrate, change everything about it, exclude everybody else, deliberately gatekeep everybody else,
yes.
And tell everybody else they're terrible people when they were the ones who claimed that they were being treated that way and they never were to begin with. You also, like I said, you want everybody to respect your whatever, but yet you show no respect to anybody else at all. And then you're like, why do people hate me?
Why do people
I'm like, I don't know, because you're an insufferable twat. Maybe that's why.
There has to be something in the water. There's something going around that this is the new insult. Grifter.
Tell me when they went to college.
Yeah, I know, right? So grifter was the term for a while that they were using. And now we've got them going after Chuck Dixon. Now, Chuck Dixon just had a movie come out not too long ago.
Yeah, none of them would ever be able to be on the same level. Like I said, he's probably written more things than they've read.
And so they're accusing him of never reading a Batman book because he posted some artwork. He didn't draw it. It's Sergio Cariello, I think, drew it. But it was in response to this drawing by Daniel Warren Johnson going around a Batman choking the ICE agent, which was a commission.
Well, it says police ICE. My next thing is when y'all in trouble and someone's trying to choke you out, I bet you want police to show up.
They do. Do you ever notice that? Isn't that weird? Like, I hate the police. Arrest them. I just want them to work for me. That's what I want. I don't even pay taxes to pay their salaries in most cases, right? But yeah, so he's going to be on Absolute Batman. He put this up, and they kind of whacked the beehive with it. I didn't really cover it because
I saw it, but I was just like, yeah, whatever. Keep scrolling.
He's from Portland.
I'm like, yeah, some perpetually politically pickled moronic artist is doing something politically pickled. Shocker. Keep scrolling.
I like his Transformers
day that ends in Y. I know, but that means a day that ends in Y.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
politically pickled.
It doesn't really shock me anymore. I mean, I just get to. I know
that's about right.
This has been going on forever. It's just that the mainstream. It's just like with the animation, like. Yeah, cartoons have been super gay for over a decade now, and you guys weren't paying any attention. And same with the art. Like, if you've been to Artist Alley, if you've been paying attention to what's going on in comics, you would know that, like 95% of comic book artists are very, very left wing. It is what it is, right? So anyway, he posted kind of a response with Batman going after Antifa. And then we've got these weirdos. Again, Transylvania. I mean, come on. Says the conservative fascist that never touched a Batman comic. And he's just like, so let me.
How dumb are you? See, this is instead of like half an argument and a valid argument, they just immediately say you're a tourist, you're a fascist. They use all these words. They don't even know what these words mean half the time, but they insert them and they use them as if like, and then they're like, they wipe their hands like, I won, and it's like you just look like a flippin' idiot, and they have no clue. They don't understand how stupid they look. You look absolutely ridiculous. People who come in our comments all the time, clearly didn't watch the video, make a statement that if they'd watched the video, they'd know how absolutely dumbass stupid they look.
Yeah, so these are Chuck Dixon's credits, and a good portion of his credits include Batman titles. He's actually created or co-created several
that's why
very popular Batman characters, including Bane. So you go through, this is just the A's, guys.
That's funny.
This is just the A's.
His response was hilarious to me.
Oh, here we go. Now we got Archie Comics, Bane. Okay, wait till we get to Batman. Okay, so we're in the Batman section now, starting with Batgirl. Okay. How many pages of Batman comics do we have? Oh my God.
I know. I'm like, I mean.
Yeah, we're only in the B's. We're only in the B's for his credits. Like Birds of Prey.
I just think it's funny. It's just funny to me because they're so stupid. And then they try to go around like they're the moral and intellectual authority on everything. And it's like they're just downright stupid.
Yeah, it's insane. Oh, he did Transformers for IDW. I didn't know that. I actually didn't know that. Okay, cool. He did G.I. Joe. He's done so many. God, it just goes on and on and on.
Now they'll be called out. They'll be proven wrong, and instead of being like, "Okay, you're right. I shouldn't have said that. That was my bad," they'll instead be like, "But he's still an old school boomer fascist, whatever," or something like that.
Yeah,
and it's like,
Yeah, Tim Drake Robin was his baby. Like he did really well with Tim Drake Robin. I had most of these. I love Tim Drake Robin. They totally ruined Tim Drake Robin. But yeah, it just goes on and on and on. And that's what they do. They like called him out. They're like, with this one, it's like, well, he's still a tourist because he doesn't know about the new game, the new audience.
I know because instead of owning the fact that you look like a fucking idiot and that you were wrong, you instead doubling down and being like, but because you're a piece of crap, it doesn't matter. I'm like, come on, you just look stupid and you make yourself look dumber and dumber. You are not winning. You're not winning. You're not proving you're smarter. You're not proving anything other than that you're a sore loser dumbass who doesn't even understand what you're talking about. That's what you look like.
Low IQ tourist who doesn't do any basic. Doesn't even know how to use Google. Obviously, doesn't even know how to use Google.
That's the new people, because that's how it is now. So basically, what you're telling me is you're a new person who just came in, doesn't even pass this whatever 5 or 3.5 or whatever, doesn't even pass that, and it's like, so
you tourist, you didn't even know what version it was.
Yeah, it's like you tourist. Well, no, me, I'm just trying to read it, but like they're like, you tourist. I'm like, you're new basically. So you only do the newer stuff, right? So doesn't that make you a tourist? You're only here for the new stuff. That reflects you. Tourist.
I've seen this coming from other YouTubers too. Like they're trying to like one up, like YouTubers in certain geek spaces are trying to one up other YouTubers who are into the same sort of thing, and they call them tourists because, well, I've been at this hobby longer than you've been at this hobby, and it's like, what the fuck?
I usually prefer the term grifter because a lot of times it's people who have no interest in this in any other circumstances other than the fact that they just want to make money on it. And we usually only talk about things that we either have actually connected to, or we like, or we're involved in some way. We don't usually cover stuff that we don't, because we're not grifting. We cover what we have some experience with, or something we actually like or follow.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the bio. Ricardo Welkin simp that loves his feet, kiss me, choke me, step on me, and make me your BB daddy.
Just the idiot who made the comments?
This is the one who's calling.
Oh yes, clearly an intellectual superior.
Clearly a brain trust here. Oh my God! All right,
it's everything I expected.
Are we gonna wrap this up?
Yeah.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.